Hey guys, this is XColdMurderX123 and I'm here to show you how to make a Bug Zapper taser. Here it is. Okay, so this is it made here, but what you guys should have, what it should be looking like. By the way, this is just tape here, but just ignore that for now. But it should look something. Oh, and ignore these little wires here. But it should look something like this. What you want to do is take off all screws. All your screws on here have to be taken off. And when that is done, what you want to do is get a hot glue gun or a soldering machine. You're going to need the hot glue gun anyways. But what you want to do is get 2 bolts. The bolts should be about this big. An inch and a half probably. And what you want to do is you angle them. Don't put them straight together, as it's not going to work, because the 2 bolts cannot touch at the bottom when they're down here. They must be angled and just basically touching, like not touching, but I don't know, but whatever. Very, very close together, like basically no gap. Now, the little threads that are on the bolt, only one should be touching each other, and that should be at the top. That's where your spark's going to be. So when you hit your button down here, that happens. And it looks pretty cool. Now, some of you are going to be asking, why is this tape here? That's because when you break your bug zapper, this part right here is supposed to connect right here, right there actually, which gives it a big gap, so it's like here and here, and then inside is all gap, so there's like nothing there. So you just gotta compromise and just put quite a few layers of tape. I put probably about 8 layers of tape around, not like all the ways around, just here, and then made it look a bit better. And with the screws there and all the hot glue, you might have to put extra tape to seal it together, as the screws sometimes won't do it. And to get for you guys that aren't too skilled with electricity or whatever, just take your wire, your red one, and your base. It just looks like a steel wire basically. There's no heat wrapping on it. See this little red thing? There's copper wires in that. You basically just wrap them around this screw. Make sure they do not touch this screw, and you hot glue it on. Or you can use a soldering machine. Soldering machine's gonna hold them on there a lot better. But I just chose to use hot glue because I don't have a soldering machine. Yeah. And then on here you just take your steel wire, wrap it around this, make sure it does not touch this bolt, only this one. And what you should get is, again, this. And now, this little spark you're seeing here would show up on here if a bug was to go here, and you press the red button, it'll come up there. Now, some people, just for a prank, they'd hit someone with this, but your finger has to touch both of the wires there. But I think this is a lot better. It looks better, and if you want to prank someone, it definitely is going to look a hell of a lot better. Because just going up like this to someone, that'll look pretty cool. And I think it's a lot better than a disposable camera one, because 1, you can hold this down. 2, you got no fuses blown in here. I don't know. Like, I'm not too good with circuit boards or anything. All I know is just connect wires and a few resistors and stuff. But with the disposable camera, I found after a few charges, and if you charge it for just too long at times, like the full 6 seconds or whatever it says, or 5 or 3, I don't know what it is, to charge it and then shock, I find that after doing that a little bit, it'll just die. Like, the whole thing dies. You can put as many batteries, new batteries you want in it, and try it again. It's not going to work. This, I've had for 2 weeks, shocking the living hell out of just anything metal, like a pen and plastic on the end, something like this, that'll protect your hand from getting shocked. I just held it there, did a few tests for it, see how long it can go, and I could actually hold this here and just hold it there for like 5 minutes straight. Batteries are fine, no fuses are blown, so it's awesome. So I'm gonna run over it a bit more here. You may have trouble getting your green LED to fit back in this hole here. Your green LED lights up when you hit the button to let it know that it's live. Mine, I never noticed that it didn't get back in there, and then I taped it up, so I wasn't going to bother undoing all this tape that I just put on, so I just said screw it. But you guys that want 100%, you can put it in there. I find that you should close it just enough so you can fit a little screwdriver in, a teensy little one, like one of those screwdrivers that are like this thin, the size of like a coat hanger wire, and you just fit it on in there, right in where this little crack is. So like this half and this half, you take out the screws and you put it back together, stick it in, and just push the little LED light in until it's in this hole, then you clamp it down. Now, with the hot glue here, I recommend that you do it when this thing is taken apart. It's a lot easier because you need to be able to hold it in different places. And when you do touch the hot glue to the bolt here, it is going to heat up, so gotta, I don't know, just bear with it. It's not like a stove burning hot, it's just heat. But if you have sensitive hands or anything like that, I don't know, doesn't really hurt, doesn't bother me. It's not as bad as like putting fresh hot glue on your hand, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, you can shock basically anything. But if you do touch these bolts to anything metallic touching woods or like anything you touch it to, it's not going to show the spark. So to shock your, like if I was to go shock myself, I'm not going to shock myself. I've never been shocked by it. My brother has. He said it hurt, but whatever. So it probably would look better to hold it and then touch instead of go like this and then touch. If you are going to tape it, tape this part. If you're going to do that, I recommend spray painting it. Like spray paint this black just so it mixes together with this real nice. Give it a good look. Or you could make your own camo on it, which I may do. I was thinking maybe put like black and a few green mixed in with this. It'll look pretty cool. And you also, on the bottom here, some of them have it, some of them don't, but there's a little hole here for a little rope to go around for like your wrist or whatever, I think. And what I think I might be able to do is get a tiny piece of rope in there and attach it to a little clip. Like, you know, one of those clips that climbers would use to hook onto the harnesses or whatever, like cliff climbers and stuff, one of those harnesses, and you could hook it onto your belt so that all you have to do is release a clip and you have your taser. That could be a nice version for a sheath, or not a sheath, but a holster, sorry. Yeah, now this video is nearing 10 minutes long, so definitely run over the basics. Now we do have a few exposed things here, so if you accidentally put your finger just right here, there is a chance of being shocked. As you can see, there is wire hanging here. Try not to get it to touch anything. Like these two bolts, the wire that connects to this one and the wire that connects to this one, if they touch, it's just going to create the shock in a different place than right here. And the reason why you can't just put the two bolts together is to get the shock at the top, right there. What you have to do, as I said before, is you get the threads that are on your bolt to touch at the top. Or what you can also do is get your little pliers here, wire cutters, wire strippers, whatever they're called, and you take the cutting side, just take your cutting side and you snip the bolt at the top, and then it'll just create like a little piece of metal hanging near the top there, and it's a bit easier to connect to the two. But you have to make sure at the top is the only place that these two bolts connect. I don't want, like, I never place the two bolts directly on each other, only the threads, but yeah. And to help to hold them together, as it's going to be hard to place these bolts together like this, was I found that thread wrapped around helped. And where this bolt here goes through this side to this side, that connected on here. So when this was here, there was a bolt that runs, or a screw that ran through here and here. That's still there. You still need that to connect these pieces together at the top. And what I did is took these two bolts, and that's how I held them together. As you can see, you could probably see it. It's right there. Like, you can maybe see the glare or the shining of it. It's probably pretty hard to see on the camera, but anyways, it's there. Might be able to get a better view there. But yeah, that little thing, that's what I use to angle the bolts, so you get it to go, like, basically you want to get a triangle, pyramid, whatever, and you just get it to go to a tip. They have to be at angles, because if it's not, the end of the bolt here, the end of the bolt here are gonna touch, and it's just not gonna work. And you also need gaps in between here, so the two wires, or the two bolts rather, are not touching each other. There's also different ways you can destroy this and make it smaller, probably, but I just chose to keep it just like this. And just to show you again, this is just nearing the end here. You can probably hear that. It does make a sound when it touches. So you do get that taser-like sound when it's when you press it. And I can hear that across the room. From if I was here, right where I am now, I can hear it all the ways over there by that bookshelf over there. It's like a kind of like a squeaking sound, kind of. I don't know. It's pretty fun, just to go up, shock different things, see what burns, like melting stuff with it. But yeah, that's your basics. That's how you make it. I hope you guys like this video, and comment, like, and subscribe to my videos, guys. Thank you. Thanks for watching. XX Cold Murder XX 123, and I'm out of here, guys. Bye.